Oh yeah, cyber plus security. And in this series, I'm gonna take you through the introduction to cybersecurity's essentials, and I bet you after this you ain't gonna remain the same. You're gonna start thinking like a cybersecurity. Let's dive in without further ado. When you hear about cybersecurity as a beginner, what you have to bear in mind is think of a padlock, think of a fence, think of a compound that needs security or permission before you go in. Cybersecurity is the measure you put in place to safeguard your digital systems, your network, and data from unauthorized access, attacks, or damage that could come anytime you didn't expect it, like an attack that could come from a cyber criminal, from a hacker, when you don't expect it to come. Pause. Just imagine. Think of this world as a valuable place of information and resources. Woohoo! If you don't guard it, we lose it. Cybersecurity serves as a guardian, protecting this valuable information from the non-authorized actors. In more understandable terms, it's like a digital team that work in order to see that your online experience are secure and safe. And when we talk about cybersecurity, we never miss the three keys that are involved, which includes the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. In this aspect of confidentiality, it focuses on keeping information private and ensuring that only authorized individuals or systems can access certain data. For example, you wouldn't want someone unauthorized to read your private messages or access your sensitive files. In this case, it involves the encryption of your file, and even if there is a middleman attack, it will be of no use for the attacker because the files is going to be encrypted and he has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with that information. Integrity. Let's talk about integrity. Integrity involves maintaining the accuracy and reliability of data. In the context of cybersecurity, it means ensuring that the information is not altered or tampered with by unauthorized parties. You want to make sure that the data remains true and trustworthy. And let's talk about availability. Availability ensures that the system and data are accessible and usable when needed. Cybersecurity measures aim to prevent disruptions or downtime caused by attacks, technical failures, or other issues that could impact the availability of digital resources like the DDoS attack. As a beginner, you are going to explore the threats like viruses, phishing, and ransomware. In fact, you are going to understand how cybersecurity uses tools to mitigate and prevent the cybersecurity attacks. You can think of cybersecurity as a bunch of tools you use every day on the internet to secure your businesses and whatever you do on the internet. It also involves you teaching others on the preventive measures they need to take, they need to keep, they need to do every day in order to be secured on the internet. So whether you want to protect your personal information or contributing to the security of a larger network, cybersecurity is about building a digital defense to keep the virtual landscape safe for everyone, including you and I. Implementing effective cybersecurity measures involves a combination of the technical solution, policies, and user education. Now let's talk about the measures you need to keep while talking about cybersecurity. Number one, firewalls. Firewall is very essential. Did I say very? Yes, very essential to your network infrastructure. This makes the network or anything that comes into your network to pass through a security wall known as firewall. No firewalls. I'm kidding. Firewalls. It's like I'm calling you way too hard. I'm sorry. Firewall acts like a barrier which prevents some malicious traffic from the external network that will want to attack your network. Now there are rules within the firewalls which are responsible for detecting a malicious traffic that may try to attack your network. Another measure you need to take is to install and regularly update your antivirus and anti-malware software to detect and remove the malicious software from your computer system or from your network infrastructure. And also make sure that your softwares are up to date. They are up to date from version 1, 1.5, 1.2, 1 point whatever to 2 point something. Just make sure you update it regularly in order to meet the latest security patches. Another thing you need to do is to implement a concrete or rather a strong authentication mechanisms such as multiple factor authentication to add another layer or an extra layer of security and not just password alone. And this reminds me of when I said encryption, when I talked about the middleman attack, that the middleman cannot do anything with your information once it is encrypted. Now, what is encryption? Encryption, to a layman's understanding, is just like putting a pizza into your mouth and chewing it, then you spit it out, and it becomes a junk. Nobody will understand that this is a pizza at the beginning, but only you alone knows that this is a pizza and not a donut. And you need a key to convert it back to pizza. In other words, it is very important for you to encrypt your sensitive data both in transit and at rest. And the decryption key is very important in order to decrypt back your files into an understandable form, and even if there is a leak, you are safe. And this brings us to the principle of least privilege enforcement. In this principle, you do not, in whatever reason, grant the privilege of an administrator to an employee. An employee is meant to do the checking and balancing of the business, while an administrator is made to take care or checkmate the website and run its activities on daily basis. So you do not grant the same access of an administrator to an employee. And you need to regularly review and update the access permissions. Another one is employee training and creating awareness about the security best practices, including recognizing phishing attempts, creating strong passwords, and reporting suspicious activities within the network. So make sure you develop and regularly test an incident response plan to efficiently address and mitigate the cybersecurity incidents. Backups. This brings us to backup. Now, a good cybersecurity practice includes backing up your critical data and ensure that backup systems are secure. This is crucial in order to restore your lost data in case of ransomware attacks or other incidents. Network segmentation. It is very important for you to divide your networks, and not all of your network are supposed to be in the same place. You have to segment them. Segmentation is very important. So when you segment your network, what is going to happen is that when a particular network is breached, it doesn't necessarily mean that all other networks are at risk. Conduct regular security audits and assessments to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses in your systems. Security auditing is very important in cybersecurity in order to detect the weaknesses and the vulnerabilities in your systems. This proactive approach helps to address every critical issues before they can be exploited by an attacker. Mobile device management solution is another measure we need to put in place. Implementing MDN solution to secure and manage mobile devices used within the organization, enforcing the security policies, ensuring the protection of the corporate data. Your Wi-Fi networks is very important. It is not exceptional. This one, you are going to encrypt your traffic, give it a unique password, and regularly monitor for unauthorized access that may come from an external network. Another one, vendor security assessment. Assess the cybersecurity measures of third-party vendors and partners to ensure they meet your organization's security standards and the rest. Security policies and documentations is important. Set a standard, develop and enforce comprehensive security policies, and document procedures to guide employees on security practices and protocols. By putting these procedures in place, organizations can significantly enhance their cybersecurity postures and reduce the risk of cybersecurity threats and attacks. It is very important to continuously evaluate and update these measures to adapt to the evolving cybersecurity landscape in this modern day. I hope you learn a lot from this tutorial. Thank you very much. Don't fail to hit the subscription button. Don't fail to like and share. We'll see you in another video.